Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Through all that smoke, you know, nobody could get them.
2 people remain in a Twin Cities hospital tonight recovering from injuries suffered in a deadly Memorial Day weekend blaze. A boy was tragically killed in the fire despite efforts by family members to try and rescue him. Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero has an exclusive interview with a family member who says they still can't process the loss.
Nathan Magnuson says he was sleeping Sunday morning when his fiancee told him the news. His sister, Missy Headland, was being treated at the burn unit in the Twin Cities hospital for injuries suffered during a weekend blaze.
With this pandemic, no one's allowed at the hospital, so I can't be by my sister's side.
Becker County deputies say Mike Headland, Missy's husband, and their 5-year-old daughter were also hurt in the fire. Mike is already out the hospital, according to Magnuson. Deputies responded early Sunday morning to this house in Detroit Lakes that was engulfed in flames. Magnuson says the couple lived there with 11 children. The loss of 2-year-old Micah has been a wound too raw and sensitive to touch.
Tragedy came along with the fire, and, you know, Micah's going to a different place now.
Although the sheriff said in his original report 2 people went back inside, Magnuson wanted to clear the air, saying everyone was searching for Micah.
They couldn't get through the flame to get upstairs, so they went outside hollering for Mike and Missy, and I guess Mike jumped out the bedroom window, and they all went in to try and find Micah at that time.
He also says the children on the first floor who were playing video games helped avoid further tragedy by hearing the smoke alarm.
If it wasn't for that game system, I don't think anybody would be here.
With the house a total loss, he says they need all the help they can get. He hopes he can get the children another Xbox One to keep their minds off the tragedy. In Becker County, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Still no word on a cause for that deadly fire, and if you are interested in helping the family, we'll soon have a link to this story on our website with items that the family needs. Now that the long holiday weekend is over, I'm wondering about the chances for any rain in the coming days. My go is to meteorologist Hutch Johnson, who is here with the first alert Tuesday night weather planner. Hutch?
Mike, thanks so much. We started out our day with a few showers here in the FM area, and those showers have shifted off to the east, even though we have a few cumulus clouds off to the west of us right now. Maybe 1 or 2 thunder showers will be possible here in the Red River Valley this evening. Most of these showers off to the east are slowly exiting to the east. It's been a gray and a somewhat dreary day in the Park Rapids, Detroit Lakes, and Fergus Falls and Otter Tail County areas. Quiet for us this evening. We'll see an isolated thunder shower possible. Temperatures in the 70s now, and in Fargo will stay in the 70s until just after sunset. Then near bedtime, we'll slip down into those comfortable 60s. Mike, no wind to worry about either. You can leave the hairspray right there at the studios if you're heading outdoors. Now, we do have some warm weather to talk about, but there is a cooling trend coming up. I'll have details on that, and we'll look ahead for any further chances of rain here in a few moments.
All right, let's keep secrets to ourselves, huh?
Oh, okay.
Okay. We're continuing to follow a story out of South Fargo where we're told that 1 person is dead in a fire at a home on University Drive South in Fargo. Valley News Team's Callie Hubbard has been at the scene since the call came in about 12:30 this afternoon, and she joins us now with the very latest. Callie?
Yeah, Mike, as you can imagine, shocking news for those who live in this South Fargo neighborhood. Now I'm going to take a look. I want you to take a look behind me. Now, crews are actually working at this home at 12th Avenue South and University Drive. They just started boarding up the windows, as you can see, and they want you to know that the fire started on the first floor, spreading to the second. After crews put out the flames, they found a dead body. Investigators are still working to identify the person inside the home and the exact cause of the fire. University Drive, like we had mentioned, was closed down pretty much all day. It's opened back up. Fire crews are wrapping up the on-site investigation, but the investigation is still underway. But for now, reporting live in South Fargo, Callie Hubbard, Valley News Live.
All right, Callie, and look for updates on this story on valleynewslive.com and on our VNL News app. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum apologized today to the people caught up in the malfunction at the state lab in Bismarck. It happened this past weekend with lab equipment impacting 82 positive tests that were completed between Tuesday and Thursday. Once the malfunction was caught, the state deemed those tests as inconclusive and asked all of those patients to be retested. So far, 65 of those patients have been retested, 64 coming back as negative. One person is refusing to retest and is self-locating at home.
Accuracy is of the utmost importance to us at the state of North Dakota. Trust is the utmost important in terms of the work we're doing. And so again, our apologies to you, those individuals.
23 of the impacted tests were from Cass County, 12 were from Trail County. North Dakota is reporting another 43 positive cases of coronavirus, bringing the active case count to 667. 40 North Dakotans are currently in the hospital. There were no new deaths reported today, keeping the death toll linked to the virus at 54. Minnesota is reporting another 652 positive cases, bringing the active case count to 5,538. 18 new deaths were reported today. Now 899 deaths have been linked to the virus in Minnesota. Currently, 570 state residents are in the hospital with the virus, with 258 of those in ICU. Cass County prosecutors are deciding what charges should be filed after a chase led to a crash near a construction zone in Fargo. When police checked out an assault call after midnight in the 4300 block of 10th Avenue South, the driver took off. A brief chase ended for safety reasons. Police later noticed that the car was involved in a crash at 42nd Street and Main Avenue, but that didn't stop the driver then. Eventually, authorities flattened the driver's tires and he crashed into the construction zone at 11th and Main. The driver was taken away in an ambulance and could be charged with fleeing in a motor vehicle as well as reckless endangerment. 4 Minneapolis police officers involved in the arrest of a black man who died in police custody have been fired. That incident took place Monday night after police responded to reports of a forgery in progress outside a convenience store. A video taken by a bystander appears to show the man on the ground with an officer kneeling on the man's neck as he begs for help, saying, "I can't breathe." The man was later pronounced dead at a local hospital. The incident is being investigated by the FBI and the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. In a tweet, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry said the firings of the officers was the right call. Healthcare workers in Bemidji, Minnesota protested today over Sanford health policies regarding housing during this COVID-19 pandemic. The Minnesota Nurses Association says it's because an RN tried making housing arrangements for workers who wanted to self-isolate, but that nurse got into trouble with management. The hospital says workers can arrange to stay at a hotel. That's an option the Nursing Association says is unaffordable for many. Sanford Health tells Valley News Live that the Bemidji Hospital has not had one patient admitted to the hospital for COVID-19. They also say they haven't laid off any employees during the pandemic and even paid staff to cross-train in other areas. This Memorial Day weekend was the deadliest on Minnesota roads since 2010. The Department of Safety saying 8 people died in 6 crashes over the 3 days. The victims' ages ranging from 16 to 85 years old. One of the fatal crashes was alcohol-related. During the weekend, 292 drivers were arrested for DWI, down from the 393 arrests in 2019. Coming up after the weather on Valley News Live at 6, parents gather to virtually follow the Fargo School Board meeting, hoping for a change of heart when it comes to graduation.
But next, clouds today across much of Minnesota, limiting your temperatures to the 60s for many, 70s out to the west. A nice Wednesday warm-up in store. I'll have hour-by-hour details on that, and then a cool down to follow right after this.